Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to Central News for Monday, the 23rd of June. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Waipa's heritage enthusiasts are once again being invited to apply for funding to help preserve and enhance the district's unique heritage. Waipa District Council administers a $70,000 heritage fund to help manage historic buildings and protect and restore significant natural, cultural and archaeological sites within the Waipa District. Funding can be used to help pay for specialist advice but cannot be used for the creation of new monuments, one-off events or the design, build or renovation of historic replicas. Earlier this year, 6 applications were approved by the committee for projects totalling $30,000. They included the further work to Jackson House in Kihikihi and assistance with exterior painting at St Andrew's Anglican Church in Cambridge. Applications for the September funding round are now open and will close on June the 30th. Work on making Te Rapa Sportsdrome warmer and drier began last week with insulation work, and this week the Sportsdrome is being made more accessible for people with disabilities. These works are a result of disability audit that was conducted at the end of 2013 from Hamilton City Council. The works are expected to take 6 weeks and be completed by the 31st of July. A Tauranga couple are $500,000 richer after spinning Lotto's winning wheel at the weekend. Sue and Ray, a teacher and self-employed builder, couldn't believe their eyes when they saw the winning wheel tick over to the $500,000 prize on Saturday night's draw. The couple have a big wish list for their winnings, but top of the list is a motorbike for Sue and maybe an African safari. As part of the winning wheel prize package, Sue and Ray enjoyed a luxury weekend at the Sofitel in Auckland's Viaduct Harbour and a shopping spree with a stylist for new outfits to wear on the draw. It might be more than 3 years on, but Luke Burgess can still vividly recall the widespread devastation and destruction encountered at the collapsed Christchurch television building during the Canterbury earthquakes. The Greaton Fire Brigade senior firefighter is today amongst 27 Kiwis being awarded New Zealand Bravery Awards as part of the 2014 Special Honours List for his efforts in tunnelling through the debris to rescue victims on the car park side of the building. Living in Christchurch at the time, Luke was part of the firefighters responding to a number of people trapped on the 4th floor of the building, compressed to a space of about 60 centimetres high following the earthquake. Asked whether it is an appropriate measure for what he and the team did on that day, carrying their rescues out in dense smoke and under the constant threat of aftershocks, Luke is quick to deflect praise towards the team. Now for our marine forecast, west coast, northeast rising Tuesday afternoon to 25 knots and a moderate southwest swell easing on Tuesday afternoon. High tide in Raglan is at 7:40 a.m. East coast, northeast 15 knots developing in the afternoon. Cloud increasing and evening drizzle out there. High tide is at 5 p.m. in Tauranga. Just ahead, stormwater levy for Tauranga. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Tauranga City Council ratepayers will face a rates increase of 2%, but a 4.7 stormwater levy has been introduced as a result of major flooding in the city of the last decade. Wayne caught up with Mayor Stuart Crosby to find out the details.
Stuart, the council has proposed a stormwater levy, so elaborate on that for us a little bit if you would.
Yes, well obviously Tauranga City, like many cities, has stormwater issues. We've had some significant flooding over a long period of time. We have been addressing it, $80 million investment to date, but not enough. So instead of just adding more onto the debt, we've decided to raise through rates a particular levy. It will raise $5 million per annum and have a rating requirement of about 4.7%.
So how will it work basically? And I guess the obvious question after that is who will be affected by it?
Well, how it'll work, that money raised by the levy will go directly into stormwater projects. Initially, we thought we would start accumulating the levy over a period of time to maybe $20 million, but because the need is so urgent now, we've decided to start utilising it immediately. So the beneficiaries will be those people in those catchments that the projects kick in straight away, and we've already determined some of those. They're in the Otamotai area of Tauranga City.
Now, you're talking about flooding in Tauranga City. Is it a serious problem? How dire is it for the city?
We have maybe three elements to it. First of all the new greenfield sites, which is a lot of our growth since the early 90s, they don't have a problem at all because they have a new high standard. Then we have the industrial areas. Most of them are in the older areas, so they require some remedial works as well. And then there's the older parts of Tauranga City and Mount Maunganui that will require some remedial works as we go through. Quite an extensive project.
So which suburbs, which areas of the city will be prioritised, I guess, with regard to the process?
So we've done a lot of what's called 2D modelling, and this identifies the hotspots. Now it's very difficult because those hotspots can move year by year, but we've got a very good handle now where the high risk areas are, so they'll get the investment first.
Now, obviously, some people are a little unhappy with a 6.7% increase. Some are, but for those that aren't happy with the increase, what would you say, Stuart, to those people?
We haven't had much negative feedback, which is quite surprising. The rating percentage just to run the city is 2%. People understand that. That's fair enough. It's reasonably close to inflation. Then we've added the special levy, and people actually understand that as well.
So rate increases these days are a fact of life, I guess. Nothing gets cheaper and so on, and you've still got to meet increased costs. So what are some of those increased costs that tend to justify rate increases?
Most of them are what we call levels of service. In other words, things have to be done to a higher level, and generally for environmental reasons. Three quick examples. Water, we just suck it out of the stream, put some fluoride in it, or chlorine, and send it on its merry way. Don't do it anymore. $70 million filtration plants. Wastewater goes through 5 systems. Stormwater now we pre-treat as well. So that's what's driving up the costs.
And of course, you can find out more information on TCC's annual plan by visiting tauranga.gov.nz. Locally and nationally renowned folk music artist Phil Garland joined Central News back in studio again, and this time he can add receiving a Queen's Service Medal to his list of achievements.
Congratulations, Phil, on making the Queen's Special Birthday Honours list.
Thank you.
Now tell me, how does a folk musician receive this type of honour?
Well, in my case, I'm not just a folk musician. What I've been doing for 45 years is collecting New Zealand folk songs, stories, yarns, poems, stuff dating right back to the earliest days of civilization in this country.
Excellent. So how did you feel when you found out?
I was over the moon, actually. I couldn't believe it. It was the last thing I expected to happen, actually.
So did you have to apply for it, or did you just...
No, I didn't apply
receive
for it. I believe somebody promoted me, and then they get letters of support from other people, so...
Excellent. That's always got to be a good boost to the self-esteem, isn't it? So you've been in the music industry for over 50 years now, from performing in rock and roll bands in the 60s to finding your calling as a folk artist. How would you compare starting off as a fledgling musician back in the day to starting out these days?
Oh, I reckon it's probably was a lot easier when I first started. When I started singing rock and roll, which was the late 50s, early 60s, it was very much a revolution for the younger generation. And it was much easier to perform that sort of music. Today, I don't know, there's so much happening, and I think it's difficult for people to get noticed, really.
There's a lot more competition out there.
There's a lot more competition, certainly.
Excellent. So last month was New Zealand Music Month, and this year is the general elections. Do you believe the current government is doing enough to support New Zealand music as a whole? What changes would you like to be seen made?
Well, I think they are, really. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we've got New Zealand On Air, we've got Creative New Zealand. Is it the government's responsibility to support the music? I think it's a responsibility to support heritage, but I'm not too sure about that, really. I don't think it's vital that they should support it.
Okay. And what advice would you have for young musicians? Would you recommend them going on the street busking, trying to get into festivals?
Find themselves a niche and really work at it. Find your own voice. Don't try and be somebody else that you're not.
And do you offer yourself as a mentor?
Well, I've been teaching music in schools for 40 odd years, and some of my musicians have gone on to perform in bands. So, but I haven't worked in a mentoring capacity so much. I always tell my musicians, my pupils, to go and watch other musicians and watch what they're doing and learn from them.
Okay, so you describe yourself as a singing historian. You touched on how you gather up all the folklore, not just singing. So what does that mean?
It means I write songs based on events and characters from the history, unsung heroes, and it means really telling New Zealand's oral history in song, I think. Makes it more interesting too.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for coming in today, Phil. We really appreciate it.
Congratulations to Phil. Such an honour to be recognised by the Queen herself for his services to folk music. Coming up after the break, our Gudgeon Pro expert. Welcome back. The much anticipated Field Days Young Innovator of the Year Award, which is open to inventors under the age of 25, went to Matamata's own 13-year-old Patrick Roscombe for the Gudgeon Pro 5-in-1 Gate Hanger. Anne-Marie caught up with the young businessman to find out more about the award and its success.
Patrick, welcome to Central News. You've just finished your second year at the Field Days and you walked away with the Young Innovator of the Year Award. Congratulations, that's a huge achievement.
Thank you.
Now, that was from the Innovation Centre. Tell me about the whole process of being in that centre.
So the Innovation Centre, so we had to apply in May, we had to apply for the Innovation Centre and 79 people got chosen to participate in the Innovation Centre. So there was grassroots and launch and international, and so I entered in the launch category, and so I set up my stall and then I was able to sell at Field Days, and so judges came around and judged you on your stand, and then they deliberated, and then we on the Thursday morning we had to go to Hamilton at Cooper's and attend the Innovation Awards breakfast, where I won the Innovation Young Innovator of the Year for 2014.
Congratulations, huge achievement. Yep. And your stand was so busy at the Field Days, it was a hive of activity.
Yeah, it was.
You had a good sale with the Gudgeon Pro 5-in-1?
Yes, so we sold over 146 units and we launched them at Field Day, so it was very good.
And you ran out of 500 business cards?
Yeah, and Mum had to sit on Saturday cutting out new business cards as well. So.
Your mum is amazing. She's been a huge support, hasn't she?
Yes, she has.
Now, tell me about the pitch that you did to the Innovation Den. Only 9 people got through to that.
Yeah, so when we applied for the Innovation Centre, we were able to apply for the Innovation Den. So 40 people applied and they only chose 20 to attend a 2-day business course. So I was chosen as one of the 20, and so we had to do market validation and business model canvases, and so we did that on the first day, and then the second day we had to pitch to a panel of 5 and then they picked 9 people to go through to the next round, and so on Wednesday we had a revise of our pitches, and then we went on Thursday afternoon, we did the big pitch to over 130 investors.
And now you didn't take away anything from the actual den, but you've had some investment inquiries.
Yes, I have. I had a cool guy come down from Auckland, and he wants to help me do some with business mentoring. And yeah, I got a big round of applause from all the people in the audience.
Now you have done all the R&D, you've done the research, you have taken on board the feedback from the farmers, you redesigned the whole Gudgeon Pro from a 4-in-1 to now a 5-in-1 to make it adjustable. You've got all the signs are there. You're not going to sell the business off just yet, are you?
No.
And of course, you're going to look overseas, perhaps?
Yeah, so we had lots of interest from overseas markets. So we had like Poland, Ireland, Chile, and Canada. And so, and I just want to focus on the New Zealand market and make it all farmers' necessity in the farmers' trailer. So
I think you're absolutely fantastic. I don't know how you do it. You're still at school, obviously, juggling year 9.
Yes.
Are you feeling, or did you feel a bit of pressure being the youngest in the innovation den?
Yes, because the next oldest one, the youngest one was 35, so I was one
The
of
youngest by far, definitely. And I understand you weren't too well on the day of the pitch.
No, Mum was up on Wednesday night with my brother Ebert and Victoria, who were vomiting, and then I thought I was okay. And heading to the Innovation Awards breakfast in the morning, I threw up on the side of the road, and then so I wasn't too well for the Innovation Awards, so I got my prize. And then Mystery Creek, our field days were very nice, and they put me in the headquarters, and so I slept for 3 hours up there, and then I had some electric lights, and then did my pitch, and then didn't feel too well after that and went home.
Oh, poor boy, but you made it through, and it shows your strength of character and determination.
Yeah.
Now tell me about the feedback that you've received from punters at the field days this year.
So they were really excited that it was on sale this time, because last time it wasn't. I was just pitching the idea out to the farmers, so they were really wanting to buy it, and lots of people want to buy it online as well. So.
And you're getting your website up and running, aren't you?
Yeah, so it's already up and running, so we're just finalising the payment system on there, so then everyone can buy it off there.
How have you found the whole journey with schoolwork, assignments, exams, tests, and starting a business, launching a product?
Yeah, like, running a business is much more what you think it is, and then like trying to keep up with schoolwork. I had like complete all these essays before actually going to the field days, and then I've come back to school, and then I've got to complete all these tests that I missed out. So it's pretty busy.
Has school been supportive?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, who would you like to thank? I'm sure you've had a lot of
so
people.
Vodafone, because they helped me from marketing last year, and I caught up with them this year, and it was, we had a good old talk down there. And then also James and Wells for all their professional help, and we've got Alpaca, our manufacturer, and Field Days were very kind, and they were very supportive, and my mum and dad for believing me and never giving up on me, and all the farmers who bought one. So.
All the farmers who bought one, and all the farmers who took your business card actually need to now call you.
Yes, they do.
What have you learnt most about yourself over the past year?
And believe in myself, because I never thought I could do this sort of thing, but I've done it.
You have done it, and now where? Where to from here?
So get the New Zealand market all set up, and everyone has one, and then explore overseas markets and hopefully go from there.
So is the Gudgeon Pro 5-in-1 a finished product now? No more tutoing, no more?
There's a few little adjustments for special requirements for some farmers who want a different size model. So so we're just working on with those.
And what do you think that the field days have given you? What's the best part about that whole innovation centre?
So the best part was that they could actually, it didn't cost a fortune, and it's like the top 3 thing on the list that farmers and people want to go to and see. So it was a great experience, and I got to meet all new different innovators in the innovation centre, and we shared our thoughts and experiences.
Patrick, we think you are fantastic. All the team here at Central News just think you're amazing. And we often talk about you in the office and go, oh, that Patrick Ruscombe, we've got to talk to him again. So congratulations on your success. It is well deserved, and for your whole family as well. And we'll be keeping an eye on you, because I don't think this is the last we're going to see of you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
To find out more, or maybe order a Gudgeon Pro for yourself, go to gudgeonpro.co.nz. Just ahead, Bay Twisters. Welcome back to Central News. Cheerleading is a very competitive sport in America, but you don't see much of it in New Zealand. But as Wayne found out, there is a cheer group in Tauranga that is worthy of being on the international stage.
Firstly, Rebecca, tell us about the competition you're about to take part in.
Okay, so we're taking part in a competition in Auckland at the ASB Stadium in a couple of weeks' time on the 5th of July, and it's basically called the Twisted Boom, and it's a group of, it's a group of people from America that are top in cheerleading that come all the way from America and do these competitions in New Zealand a couple of times a year.
Now, I understand you're having a bit of a warm-up event on Sunday the 29th, is that right?
We sure are. We're inviting all our friends and our family and all our sponsors as well that have supported us, and they're just putting on like a pre-competition routine, so it's a bit of a practice run really, make sure they know what they're doing.
Now, you're a relatively new and young group in terms of how long you've been going, so you started in December. How's the group grown since then?
We started off with around about probably 14 girls, and we're now growing in a few months to about 44, leading up to 50. So we've grown massively. It's a massive sport growing across New Zealand at the moment.
Now, in terms of categorising, if you like, what cheerleading is, now is it a form of dance?
I think people think it's all about dancing and pom-poms, and you've got to be small and you just dance all the time, but you don't. It's all about strength and teamwork. We do stunt work and we do tumbling. It's really physical on your body, so it's more than just holding pom-poms.
Now, obviously it's fairly physical, so how often and how much does the team practice, and what does that involve?
Okay, they practice for long hours, probably 2 to 3 times a week, and it involves conditioning, so conditioning their body. We do tumbling with them. They get dance and choreography as well as stunts, so it's a mixture of everything. It's not just one thing, it's a variety of lots of different things that they need to learn.
And in terms of the involvement, what do you think they get out of this whole sport?
I think they get a lot of teamwork, a lot of team building, and it's not about themselves, it's about the teams. They work together, and also about getting out in the community. So we'll go and attend events and do lots out there. They'll do performances and shows. So yeah, it's not just about themselves, it's about the team environment and the community.
Now, I'm not sure whereabouts in New Zealand they are, but there is a cheerleading team that has got guys in it. Now, is this particular team, is it restricted to girls, or is it a bit of both?
Oh, absolutely. Any boys out there, any shape, any size, any age, we'd love to have you on our team. We would love to have some boys.
Now, I think I'm right in saying that New Zealand cheerleading teams have done fairly well overseas. So really, in summary, Rebecca, how do we compare internationally?
We're way up there, and New Zealand should be proud as a country. We're doing really well for cheerleading, especially to go to Worlds in America and bring home some trophies.
You can visit baytwisters.co.nz to find out more. Now for our region's weather for Tuesday. Hamilton often cloudy with a northeasterly developing. Your expected high is 16 and an overnight low of 9. The same for the rest of the Waikato, cloudy periods with a northeast wind developing. Paeroa 16 and 10. Matamata 14 and 11. Te Ao Musu 16 and 9. And Tokoroa 13 and 8. Bay of Plenty, Tauranga, cloudy with some late drizzle and a northeasterly developing too. Your expected high is 16 and 12. Te Puke, cloud increasing, a few drizzly patches from the evening. Northeasterlies developing for you too. Your expected high is 14 and an overnight low of 11. That is the news for today. Like us on Facebook or email us news@tvcentral.co.nz and let us know if you have something going on in your community. Join me again tomorrow night when we talk with a local musician, learn about the dangers of travelling when on business and taking the avocado industry to the world. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.